Delaware Expressway and East ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. The few moments ago, boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly, Eagles, fly, as they get ready to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Seated next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, this one featuring a couple of playoff teams from a season ago, back at it again in 2019.
And we both felt the confidence from both of these teams, right? They feel like they will be back in the playoffs again, but they shouldn't be overconfident. 7 teams last year made the playoffs that didn't make it the previous year, so you're not assured of going back year after year.
Ready to get us started, the Aussie punter and kickoff man, Michael Dixon. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The spotlight shines on quarterback Carson Wentz as he and the Eagles take the field. This is a crew that is now 3-3. Had a chance to get to 4-2, but they lost to Minnesota in Week 6. Charles, you saw this game, and Carson Wentz, he'd had 4 straight weeks of a sub-60% completion percentage. He did pick up the pace, but it's a loss.
It's a loss because they couldn't run the ball as effectively as they had been in previous weeks because that Minnesota defense is so stout up front. But I thought Carson Wentz played awfully well. Despite the pressure he was under, he used his legs more, and probably more than what Philadelphia fans wanted to see with the injuries he's had. But he exited the pocket, ran for first downs, kept plays alive, and brought his team back from a big deficit to give them a chance.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Running with Howard. Bulldozes past him. And all the way down to the 35. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Seahawks 35-yard line. Nothing fancy there, a little smash-mouth football right up the gut on the dive, and it turns into a huge play.
You talk about the fastest way to the secondary. Right up the gut, as you described, and sprinted into the secondary for a long, long run.
It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
It's hard to believe that a guy can get double-digit sacks in the NFL, and we can still describe him as raw, but that's the case for Ziggy Ansah, who went to BYU, mainly as a track and field guy, gravitated towards football, and then moved into the NFL. A lot of potential left to scratch for him, a lot more pass rush moves left to be added, but he is a scary, scary prospect.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz, blitz coming, and down he goes. Bobby Wagner, the former 2nd-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Shotgun now for Wentz. And this is caught by Jackson. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Certainly not what they wanted defensively. We're hoping to hold them to a field goal. Instead, they're able to convert the 3rd and long here on the opening drive.
So not only was it a flipping field position and a flipping fortunes, but how about mentally? You just described it. They were hoping to force them into a field goal there. Instead, they give up the big gain, and now it's 1st and goal. The offense has got them on their heels.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Howard. And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. And he goes goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Okay, so you just took the big loss. Now what are you doing on 4th down?
Well, we have a change of plans now is what we have, because I think they were looking at the play sheet, trying to dial something up to go for it on 4th down. But after that loss, that goes right out the window. Now you have to kick the field goal and hope to come back down the next time and score.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Time to get a peek at Russell Wilson, quarterback bringing out the Seattle Seahawks offense. Week 6, 4-point victory over Cleveland. Russell Wilson was 5 yards shy of 300 at 295, and also 2 touchdown passes. He continues to do his thing in 2019.
14 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions on the year. And I love how you said, let's get a peek at him. You and I both know, both eyes are wide open when Russell Wilson is on the field. And that game against Cleveland, he and the Seattle offense, they were really challenged, weren't they? The lead kept going back and forth. He led the late drive to get the win on the road.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Wilson. And he slings one that's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. But now it's 3rd down. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
So let's all work together on this one, because it's natural to just watch the football. But I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the 2 guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
He can run for it, and he will. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Nigel Bradden brings him down. Carson, who was a 1,000-yard rusher a season ago, has picked up the pace this year after a slow start. 3 straight 100-yard games. Most recently, Week 6, 124 yards and the game-winning score in the 4-point win over Cleveland on the road. 22 yards there, a 1st down. To throw is Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf, 36 yards. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Plays 75 yards. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Eagles take the field again, and I want to revisit what we said earlier about their start now at 3-3. Not an amazing beginning of the season, but hey, they're still tied for the lead in the NFC East. Big one Sunday night, Week 7 at Dallas, and head coach Doug Peterson, he already said, hey, we're going to go down to Dallas, we're going to be ready to play, and we're going to win that football game. What do you make of the comment?
I think that Doug Peterson is telling his team that he still believes in them. You know what a tough market it is in Philadelphia. You know what it's like with expectations around the league, that this is a Super Bowl-ready roster, and they're at 3-3. He wants that team to know that he believes in them, and that they're still talented enough to go out and get it done. And in a sense, putting himself on the line and trying to take the pressure off of his players, because you know what kind of questions they're going to face all week going into that. He wants all those questions to be directed to him.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up. From the gun on third down, Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
They give him a gain of 37. He had one touchdown earlier, nearly a second one there.
Yeah, it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him out of the end zone after a big play. Perhaps you go right back to him. Don't need the distance, but maybe he can make things off after a big effort.
Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, second down. On second down, it's Carson. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Number 53, line 53. I'm going to run you over.
On third and goal, Wilson. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. Oh, Charles, after that interception in the Super Bowl from the 1-yard line, I thought Pete Carroll would run it inside the 5 every time.
Sometimes I wonder if maybe Pete did want to run it inside the 5. But Russell Wilson, you know he's such a competitor that he doesn't want that interception to stand, that maybe he wanted to be in that spot and say, hold it a second. I can throw a touchdown pass. Instead, he's victimized again.
And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So let's glance at a player spotlight now with Russell Wilson. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep, because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever. Vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love? Four verts.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put the
ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And they see right through that defensively, as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off. Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
We got this.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2, as they'll start with a 1st and 10 at their own 20. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. On 3rd down, Wilson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Philadelphia. On 1st, they go right back to Howard. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Wentz on the draw, leaves it for Sanders. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
To throw is Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 28. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down. On third and long, it's Wentz. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, 34 yards. And once again, the Eagles are back out in front. And correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, this is blocked. It's picked up, a live ball here, remember. And he's into the clear. He's at the 50. But he doesn't get it much further, taken down on the other side of the 50. Looked good for a second there, but it turns out just to be a missed extra point.
We have seen some exciting returns of blocked extra points. This one doesn't quite get into that level, but there had to be an anxious moment after it was blocked, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think sometimes they still forget on both sides when that block comes on a PAT that you can return it for two. He got it across midfield there, just not close to the end zone.
Yeah, you noted that moment of hesitancy, didn't you? You know, it's blocked, it's like, oh, yeah, that's right, it can be returned, and which means you have to get back and tackle him, too.
Seattle's offense takes the field again. It's an offense that has been humming in 2019. They've scored at least 21 points in every game. They've also liked playing the AFC North. Week 6 with that win over the Browns, that makes them 3-0 against the division. And they're going for the sweep of the division in Week 7 when they host Baltimore.
Almost sounds like college football, doesn't it? When you beat teams within your state and you say state champs, even if you're not in the same division or in the same conference. But I love this start. Their best start since 2013 at 5-1. Before their 5 wins have been by 4 points or fewer. Some people may view that as a negative. I view it as a positive. This is a mentally tough football team.
And the upcoming schedule, we mentioned the Baltimore game, then at Atlanta, home for Tampa Bay before the big one at San Fran. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
I think this one comes under the heading of sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because you and I both know coaches go crazy seeing their quarterbacks roll out.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterback. Right, get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on third and long. The Eagles on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 15. Throwing is Wentz. That's caught by Jackson. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Phil. And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. This complete to Lockett. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down. Geno now to throw. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Wave miss, and that was a big part of it, but a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Wentz now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task.
This is caught inside the 15. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, 48 yards. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Now, he's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. If you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes, he just takes off and goes. And I think that's what we just saw there.
Just a 4-play drive that time. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now Geno, and Dixon has it. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Throwing now is Geno, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Fletcher Cox, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, ringing the cowbell there on the sack. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now it's Smith off the bootleg. He goes full extension, and he's got it. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second. Touchdown, Philadelphia! 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. 1 play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. 1-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's some guys that we have to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Okay, now I want to revisit what we were doing earlier, contender versus pretender. We did the AFC. Let's rock the NFC here. Starting with the New York Giants.
Pretender, but much improved.
Okay, NFC North, how about the Vikings?
Contender, no doubt about it.
Carolina in the South, what do you think there? Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
From the 50, it's Smith. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Smith now to throw. A desperation heave for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now, with that incompletion, let's do something different. I'm going to go through a few teams that are on losing streaks, and you tell me if there's reason for concern there. Let's start with the Cowboys.
Definitely reason for concern. Not as dominant on defense as they should be, and offensive line injuries. 3
straight losses. They're 3-3. How about the Chiefs? 2 straight home losses.
Yeah, they just can't stop anyone running the football.
Okay, and then the Rams, 3 straight losses for them.
Yeah, definite reason for concern because they cannot get the running game figured out.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Fletcher Cox in there to get him yet again.